stage to stage. We're so happy to have you here. We've been working on our one acts for the past few months, and we can't wait to share our work with you. The event will be about an hour and 15 minutes long. Please stay for the entirety of the show and join us on the floor afterwards for refreshments. First up, Kelly Kwok. My one act, Tiny Fellows, is an absurdist surrealist dark comedy corporate drama. These are my readers: Miss Lifter as stage directions and the interviewer's assistant, Andrew Stambaugh as the interviewer, Mr. Kelly as Randall, the unfortunate and good-natured prospective employee, Andrea Tate as Jenny, another talented prospective employee, and finally Josh Ritter as Tom. Tom is also a prospective employee. Please enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, everybody. Tiny Fellows by Kelly Kwok. Scene 1, blackout. Slow illumination of center stage, an office desk facing upstage towards a white wall. A character, the interviewer, with their back to the audience sitting at a desk. A pile of documents and a mug in front of him. Another character, Randall, comes onto the stage, greeting the interviewer and approaching the table. Interviewer rises to shake his hand.
Hi. Hello, sir.
Hey, sport, how was the ride here?
Good
to see you.
I took the subway. It's good to see you, too.
So you're here for an interview, huh?
Yep.
Let's get started.
Okay, yeah.
OJ, tell
Yes,
me a little
please.
bit about yourself.
So my name is...
Could be really anything.
Okay.
Dead relatives? Kidding.
That's a little...
A beat.
Well?
Sorry. I'm Randall. Randall Brown.
Brown like poop?
Yes.
A beat. Interviewer scratches out something on the document. Randall watches, a little worried. He takes a sip from the mug.
Keep talking, son.
I'm Randall Brown. I recently graduated with a business degree with a concentration in analytics and maintained a 3.9 GPA while serving as vice president for the college's consulting club.
Interviewer takes several long sips from his mug, halfway through, long slurps, grotesque noises.
I've completed multiple consulting internships, and these experiences have taught me how to quickly understand complex issues and challenges and communicate effective solutions to stakeholders at all levels. I believe that my analytical mindset and strong communication...
Nice. You've been given an alpha.
What?
That's the prompt. We're doing an interview here, bud.
Yes, my apologies.
A beat.
That is a very interesting scenario to consider. If I were suddenly given an elephant, I'd immediately do research on how one would care for an elephant and seek solutions to practical concerns like holding space, nutrition, specialized care. I'd probably contact wildlife experts and sanctuaries to ensure the elephant's welfare.
I'm glad you care so much, Randall. This is a consulting company you're applying to, though, no?
Yes, sir, of course. I could partner with an accredited zoo or wildlife sanctuary, providing them with resources to care for the elephant properly, while negotiating an agreement that would allow me to recoup some costs.
Bot!
Which would include educational programs where people could learn about elephant conservation. What the What is this?
Let's not address that. Get it? Elephant in the room? That's your elephant. You seem very distracted.
A beat.
I don't know, sir.
But you do know, don't you? You just went on this whole spiel about owning an elephant and using it for your own benefit.
That's not... This isn't what I expected. I'm applying to Tanafellow Consulting Group as an analyst.
This is disappointing.
Violently scratches out things on the document. Randall is very disturbed.
I mean, I could find a way to provide suitable housing for the elephant.
You missed your chance, man.
A beat.
You're more of a... Are you more of a hunter or a gatherer?
I'm more of a gatherer than a hunter. I pride myself on resilience and work ethic and my ability to be self-sufficient and independent.
So you're not a hunter?
Well, I'm capable of being both a hunter and a gatherer, but I consider myself more of a gatherer because...
Not an alpha wolf.
Sir, perhaps I can tell you more about myself and past experiences. I've done thorough research on this company, and I believe I can be a valuable asset to Tanafellow.
You're a good egg, son.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm sending you away, unless you wish to be shrunken down to the size of a dollar and join the civilization of little people in the back.
I I don't think you should use that term.
What? Little people? No, they're actually minuscule. They're small and ugly, and they die really fast.
Right. Is this a joke?
No.
Checking his watch.
I mean, I can show you.
I don't think this is what I signed up for.
That's what they all say.
Checking his watch.
Allow me to escort you.
Sir, I'm quite frankly disappointed by your lack of professionalism, and am beginning to doubt whether or not Tennefellow is a company I want to work for. I don't understand how someone as supposedly well qualified as you.
Womp womp!
You just said womp womp. You just said womp womp.
Let's not get emotional here, pal. Are you crying?
I just don't understand what's happening here. Why are you paying attention to what doesn't matter? It's ridiculous. And I don't mean to antagonize you, but I simply can't accept that this is how the interview for the company I want to work for and have spent years preparing for will go.
Everyone wants this job, bud. It's a matter of how bad you want it. Frankly, this is embarrassing for you.
What? What? This is crazy.
Why do you want this job so bad?
It's challenging in a way that isn't overbearing. I like consulting, and I've always wanted to do that for a living, especially if the pay is good.
You're after the money.
I mean, yes, gosh, I'm feeling dizzy. I'm sorry. I need to sit down for a moment. Am I being challenged right now? Is this a test to see if I can withstand humiliation and adapt to situations?
Checking his watch.
You tell me, bud.
Abid.
I don't know.
Well, what the hell else would I be pouring my heart and soul into job hunting for? The economy's going to shit, the world is going to shit, everything's going to shit. I wanted to be a social worker, but how am I supposed to support myself? I can't give a shit about fucking anything else because I simply can't. Society's not set up that way. I can't do my own fucking thing because who the hell else is going to do the stuff the world needs?
I really like you, Randall, but I think the time's up.
Incredulous, doesn't know how to react, starts laughing like a psycho. Randall collapses. Blackout. Scene 2. Scene 2. Blackout. Lights up. Setting changes to a room in the back. Randall, surrounded by oversized furniture. Everything is scaled to show that he is an inch tall. Lights on. Spotlight on Randall. Randall wakes up. Randall takes in his surroundings and then quietly.
What the fuck?
A beat as Randall collects himself, reaching for his head. In the distance.
What do we do?
I'm not sure. Do you remember when he first got here? I don't think we should bother him. He seems like a good boy. I wouldn't want to startle him.
Randall hears the voices and tries to listen, approach the sound.
Yeah, did you hear how he held his ground? That was honestly impressive. The interviewer was an actual piece of shit. I want him to choke on his own spit and die.
A beat.
We should draw him pregnant.
What the fuck?
What's that gonna do? Do you ever think about that? How's that gonna fix anything? Do you ever consider...
Yeah, you're right.
Do you think he's awake? Should we go check on him?
Spotlight expands to show Tom and Jenny on stage. They are near Randall.
I really don't want to scare him. Poor boy.
It's okay. He'll get over
They
it.
walk past and notice Randall crouched awkwardly. A moment of silence as Tom and Jenny stare at Randall.
Hi there.
What's up?
Hi.
You're small.
Okay, I don't know what you mean by
The
that.
interviewer wasn't joking when he said he'll shrink you to the size of a dollar. He's an actual freak. I don't know how he does it, but every goddamn time he acts up like that in an interview, we get him a number.
What the fuck, dude? We gotta ease him into the stuff.
No time for that.
Oh.
A beat. Randall is clearly upset.
What are your names?
I'm Jenny. He's Tom.
Hi.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Tom. What's gonna happen to me now?
I'm gonna hold your hands when I say this. You're done. You're finished.
No!
Oh,
Randall has his hands on the ground, touching the hardwood floor. He gets up, approaches the wall. He feels that too.
Is he a freak?
possibly. He's fascinating.
Randall wipes his face and sighs again. He stands up, pinching the bridge of his nose.
What now? What now?
Incredulous chuckle.
What the
A
hell?
beat. He picks himself up, regains his composure.
How much progress have you made? What have you guys done? Where are we picking up from? Tell me.
What do you mean?
What have you done to go back to your normal life? How do we grow bigger? Have you guys tried anything? I'm sure you have. Please tell me you have.
A beat.
Nah, sorry, pal. We've got nothing.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, we kind of just, like, accepted our fate.
Yeah, not much to be excited about anyways. Like, it's not that deep for real. We aren't missing out on anything. I just wanted to challenge myself a little, and look where that got me.
Is this not terribly concerning to you? Are you not terrified?
A beat.
Nah, we're alright.
A beat.
I mean, I try not to think of it at all. Thinking makes everything so much worse. Gosh, you're making me think. I don't like that.
Randall, let's just calm down and appreciate that we got to experience life from this perspective.
Oh,
Yes?
I sold crazy furry art. Like, I took commissions. People are weird, man.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't know you about that. How much did you make per commission?
Low-key a lot. Like $50 per buzz,
Shit,
as
dude.
much as $200 for special comic strips.
Damn.
We need to stop this, please. Let's find a way out of here, okay?
Nah, I'm good.
But why? Why are you
A
good?
beat. Mechanical whirring makes their heads turn to the sound, while Jenny seems pensive. Supper is served.
What is this?
That's how we're fed. The food is surprisingly delectable.
That's interesting.
Try putting some of this sauce in this one. Pair with that.
Oh shit, you're right, Tom. This is yummy.
I don't mean to brag, but I'm a literal chef, so I'm good at cooking.
That's pretty cool, Tom. Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm basically a chef, not professionally, but I know I'm good. I've always liked to try different things and cook things up here and see what tastes good together. I got to travel and taste a bunch of
We
food.
can tell.
A longer beat as they finish their food.
You finished?
He grabs their plates and gets up to return it to the dispensary.
What do you guys want to do now? Should we try to bust our way out of here?
I don't know. We're probably gonna be stuck here for a long time.
Jenny, why do you think that? I'm curious as to why you two are so dejected.
I don't know, Randall. I really don't see the point. We're little, the box is big, not much out there I can do anyways. The only thing I was ever good at was drawing. Not a lot of noble things I can do with that skill and earn money. I have little siblings to take care of too. The money I make barely covers tuition.
Faraway look in her eyes.
Had to maladap. I'm not proud of what I do. Who enjoys furry drawing art for a living? I mean, sure, at the beginning it was funny and a good anatomy practice, but as the price increased, so did the extremity of furry art. I had to pump out the things my customers wanted from me. It's on me though, for offering.
Can I see?
Digs around in her pockets, pulls out a crumpled piece of paper.
Here.
Tom, confused as to what he's looking at initially and then mortified.
Oh. What? Oh. Oh, no.
A
Fuck, no.
Randall, a beat. He approaches Jenny.
Jenny, I have so much respect for you. You did what you could with the skills you have. That's admirable. Not a lot of people have the gall for this. The fact that you're doing this, especially for your siblings, incredibly noble, Jenny.
Oh, thanks, Grandpa.
That's really sweet of you, Randall. I was gonna make fun of her for the rest of her days, but you're right. That is noble.
I think all art forms are beautiful. It's brilliant that you found a way that works for yourself, Jenny.
Jenny seems to be in a much better mood than before.
How about we share stuff about ourselves? I'm curious about how we all ended up here.
They all form a little circle, scoot in a little closer.
Hi.
You're a little too close now.
Sorry, my bad. Got a little excited.
A beat.
So, Jenny, tell us more about how you got into the furry business.
Don't say it like that. I'm not actually a furry. I just draw stuff for the fandom. They're actually really nice and sweet people. I used to bully them, but they're really good business partners.
It's so interesting.
Blackout. Scene 3. Back at the office. Lights up. In the office, the interviewer is drinking from the sippy cup, watching his iPad, spotlight on interview facing the same wall.
Just
On the
so-
interviewer.
Just so you guys know, I don't do commissions for furries. In fact, some of the craziest requests are just from weird, freaky people. Wait, let me show you.
Jenny, do you just keep your drawings with you in your pockets? What the fuck? What if you get caught with them?
I don't know. It's for inspiration. Sometimes I doodle on a piece of paper and I like it, so I keep it. Oh, here it is.
A beat.
Oh,
Jenny,
that
how do
is
you-
gnarly.
I'm trying to wrap
No,
my
I
head
don't
around
like
this.
that.
Oh wait, I feel
Ew.
nauseous.
Honestly, you just get used to it.
You have such a command of the human anatomy.
He waves his assistant over in a hushed voice.
I think we can let them out now. I like this trio.
I've had so much practice. Frankly, it'd be humiliating if I didn't.
Assistant says, I think it would be too much for them. Interviewer, a beat. He fakes deeply concerned expression. Assistant tenses up.
No, you're right. It'd probably be too much for them. Poor things must have been a rough week. Pitiful little applicants. You have a point, love. What to do?
Perhaps we can ease them into it?
How do you suggest we ease them into the reality that they've never been shrunk?
Oh, I don't know, but we can still find a way to minimize the shock.
Nah.
He taps his keyboard. The walls suddenly shift and move back. Tom, Jenny, and Randall slowly come into view. The large room with oversized furniture opens up to the room they were interviewed in. There is a long beat and very confused faces as the three take in their circumstances. They have never been shrunken in the first place.
Ugh, this bastard. I had a feeling.
Congratulations! You are all invited to work at Tennefellow Consulting Group, one of the top-rated companies in this line of work. You have shown brilliant resourcefulness, teamwork, and drive during your time at orientation. Please report to the front desk at 9 a.m. next Monday.
No one says anything. Jenny is visibly angered. Tom and Randall are still wrapping their minds around this.
You've all passed the interview. Yay! All right, chop chop, off you go. Transportation has been arranged. Mail has been sent out. Go home.
A beat.
What are you waiting for? Time is ticking.
And the end. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Next up, we'll invite playwright Matilda Blue to the stage. Coming up, Matilda and readers.
Hi, my name is Matilda, and the title of my one-act play is Boyfriends, Baradas, and Landlords. The dramatic question I want to explore is how do we create our own purpose? My play centers around Ava, played by Olivia. She is a chef at a mediocre restaurant but dreams of being an artist. However, she's terrified of failure, so she doesn't pursue art as a career. She's having an affair with her ex-boyfriend, Glenn, played by Angus, who's in a relationship with her old coworker or friend of a friend. Glenn is a pretentious high school drama teacher, and he looks similar to Billy Crystal, Terry Burns. While he may not show it, he still has feelings for Ava, and even though they broke up many years ago, they have not stopped seeing each other since. Ava has an imaginary version of herself called Ava 2, who has everything Ava desires or is everything she wishes she was. While Ava's having an affair with Glenn, Ava 2 is in a healthy, loving relationship with an art dealer, or while Ava is working at a restaurant job she hates, Ava 2 is preparing to open her own gallery. All scenes with the real Ava are followed by a scene with Ava 2, which highlights the pain or depression the real Ava feels. The play is meant to represent feeling at rock bottom or feeling like one has no direction. The scenes being read both exist in Ava's real world when Glenn comes to her apartment.
Ava runs on stage, shaking her head and adjusting her clothes. She picks up a pile of dirty clothes off her floor and throws them to the wings. She runs to the kitchen and puts a bunch of dirty dishes in the sink from the counter and the table. She practices a pose by the kitchen table. She stands in a few different ways, practicing her voice in a deep, unnatural voice.
Hey, Glenn. That's way too deep.
Overly enthusiastic.
Hey, Glenn. It's been a while. Okay, like, less Glenn. Hey, me? Yeah, I've been good.
She runs out of voices to try. Knocking on the door, she runs over, trips a little, and looks back to the audience as if asking, "Did anyone see that?" She opens the door to Glenn.
Glenn, hey.
Glenn barges in on the phone, yelling and stomps his boots aggressively on the doormat. Ava looks on in shock, flinching when he yells.
Emily, I don't care. You're head of costume design, so that means you need to do what? Exactly. Design costumes. You want to throw my show away for your sweet 16? You're right, not my show. Our show. Okay, Emily, okay. Sounds good. I'll see you in class on Monday. Yeah.
He turns to Ava, rolls his eyes, and gestures to the phone before greeting her.
Hey, Ava. What's up?
He goes to hug her. She leans in with just her shoulders, holding the rest of her body away.
You have your students' numbers and you call them?
Well, yeah, but it's just a WhatsApp group chat for the spring show. It's not weird.
No, it's like definitely weird. You're a balding 36-year-old and you call Emily on the weekend of her sweet 16 to yell at her? Like, it's for sure super weird.
Alright, yeah, not my best moment, but that girl,
Watching her face to see her reaction, skeptically.
young woman,
Ew. Ugh, I preferred bitch.
well, no, you're a woman, and I respect you. So I respect women.
Ava rolls her eyes and offers him a drink. He settles on the couch.
So, what have you been up to? It's been a minute.
Yeah, well, work has been crazy, but I'm thinking of switching. I got a great offer from a prep school in Connecticut. Sasha wants to stay in Brooklyn, but, you know, maybe I want to change.
Visibly annoyed at the mention of his girlfriend's name and rolling her eyes, maybe slightly sarcastic.
Yeah, big stuff.
So,
Pause.
how about you? Have you found any openings in a showing? You really should start exhibiting your stuff.
Walking to the wall where some canvases are lined up. He picks one up.
You're way too talented to settle for an Etsy artist.
Excitedly turns to look at her.
I mean, this is museum shit.
Taking the canvas from him, he turns it around and sets it back on the floor, leaning against the wall.
That one's not done yet, and the lighting's all off. Also, what do you know about oil painting, Mr. Director?
Theater is just another form of art. People come to the theater to see beautiful art, same as the people who go to the Met. We're both putting our work on display. Yeah, it's like the same thing, just two sides, same coin type of thing. Theater and painting, we're like brother and sister.
There is an awkward pause as they both take in what he just said. Glenn makes an incest joke.
Wow.
Ava goes to the couch. Ava goes to sit on the couch and Glenn joins her. Glenn moves slowly and cautiously as if Ava is a wild animal. He puts his drink on the coffee table and grabs both of her hands.
Hey, what's going on with you? I know this is a casual thing, but I still know when something's up. I've known you for 6 years now.
Well, 5 years after we broke up.
I'd argue 5.5. We were never no contact or anything.
Deep sigh.
Luke came up today and he was pretty upset. He was super chill after you left, but it's been a while now and I don't know, I just wore down his patience a bit. He says I owe him for this month, but also the loan he gave me last spring. It sucks. I mean, I try so hard, but I'm never able to save enough to afford this stupid place. I also can't get a roommate because there's only one bedroom. This just sucks.
She kicks the coffee table and spills both of her drinks.
Fuck me.
Glenn runs and gets a dish towel. Ava is slumped on the couch, staring blankly.
Just leave it, Glenn.
Glenn continues to clean. Ava tries taking deep breaths.
Glenn.
It's fine, Ava. I got it. Just sit down.
Glenn, I'm serious. Just stop.
Glenn continues to clean. Ava gets up and rips the dish towel out of his hands, rising in volume.
I said just fucking stop.
They both stare at each other. He is shocked and a little hurt. She is shocked and steps back. She feels guilty that she yells.
Look, I'm sorry. But you don't live here anymore and you can let me deal with my own messes, okay? Just sit down.
Ava brings paper towels and a cleaning spray from the kitchen. Glenn is now recovered from being yelled at. Gets annoyed and starts getting upset at Ava.
You know, this is your problem, Ava. You don't let anyone help you. All people do is reach out, offer themselves up to you, and you're so goddamn stubborn, you don't let anyone make it easier for you. And then you have the fucking nerve to complain? You would never have to complain if you just let people fucking help you.
Scoffs sarcastically.
Yeah, that's great, Glenn. That's really great. You're offering yourself up to me? Since when? Because you certainly aren't offering yourself up to me now since you fucking left me.
Glenn hangs his head and sits back down on the couch. He rubs his eyes and leans back. Maybe closes his eyes. Ava continues cleaning before thinking of something else to say. She is waving the cleaning spray and paper towels in her hands while yelling.
You really come to my apartment and say that all you want to do is make it easier for me. Like, this is so fucking easy. It's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. If you're going to come to my apartment, talk about your girlfriend, who I know you don't love, by the way, and then criticize me like you know me so well and still expect to have sex, like, you're out of your goddamn mind.
What are you talking about? When did I talk about Sasha?
Making a cute, innocent look and voice.
Oh, I got a great offer from a fancy boarding school that's going to pay me so much money. But my poor hot girlfriend doesn't want to leave the super duper fancy apartment in Brooklyn. Oh, give me a break. Clearly no one is good enough for you, Glenn. Not me, not Sasha, not your apartment, not even New York.
She brings the cleaning spray and paper towels back to the kitchen. Glenn stands up and starts walking towards her. She stands at the kitchen counter.
Oh, come on, Ava. Don't pull that shit on me. You know you and I were never good for each other. You wanted to leave too. Don't paint me the villain. You know I did us both a favor.
He starts briskly putting on his jacket, scarf, and gathering his stuff. Eva is standing in the kitchen behind the counter. Glenn is standing on the other side of the counter by the coat rack.
Perfect. Leave again. If we aren't good for each other, then why did you come back banging on my door begging to see me again? If we aren't good for each other, then what are you doing texting me in the middle of the night? What did you even tell Sasha? God, what are we doing here? I mean,
Ava, just calm down. God, look, I didn't need to tell her anything.
His tone changes and he gets calmer and sad.
We're not exactly in the best spot right now. I slept on the couch last night, and when I got back from school at 5:30 today, she was packing her bag and said she was going to stay with her mom for a couple days.
She crosses her arms over her chest and her body language becomes slightly nervous.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Pause.
I mean, do you think that maybe there's a part of her deep down that knows you're cheating on her?
Oh my God, I am not cheating on her.
And maybe there's a party that's trying to push her away? Wait, hang on, I'm sorry. Did you say you're not cheating on her?
Excited and enthusiastically explaining himself.
Yeah, look, I read this book, and it's all about counterculture. Basically, it means everything is in our minds. Like, everything we imagine is real. And yeah, like, I guess it started with the hippies doing LSD, but it's so interesting. Here, I'll recommend it to you. I read it on my Kindle here.
He pulls out his phone and starts searching.
Okay, it's like a $30 hardcover on Amazon.
Oh my God, shut up, Glenn. Just shut up. Stop justifying yourself for something you're not actually doing. For something you're actually doing. I know you feel bad. I feel bad too, because what you're doing, it's
Softly.
I mean, we're not good people, Glenn.
There's a long silence. He unwraps his scarf and goes to stand at the countertop across from her. Glenn deeply sighs.
It's my fault. I should have just let you live after we ended things. It's my fault you haven't really, spread your wings. I mean, you have so much potential. Like with your art, Ava, you're really gonna do great things.
Don't give yourself that much credit, okay? Glenn, just my art isn't gonna get sold. It's not because of you, it's because of me.
She kind of laughs as she says this, shocked that he made it about himself.
Like, this is not about you. Like, this new dealer guy, he's got his girlfriend and her work is, it's what I wish my pieces looked like. And maybe I'll get put in this show, but then what? I'm at a complete dead end.
Thick silence overwhelms them. Neither knows what to say. Glenn moves around to the same side of the counter as Ava.
Something's got to give, Ava. I know how you feel. We're just kids, forced to grow up too fast.
It's not an excuse though, Glenn. We have to take responsibility at some point.
Sure, I know we do. Just not tonight.
Blackout. Lights up.
So after the scene, there's a scene with Ava too, and her boyfriend, which juxtaposes the argument Ava has with Glenn. Ava 2's boyfriend admires her art. They laugh at each other, talk about how excited they are to finally move in with each other. And this next scene being read is a time jump to a few months later when Glenn is about to move to Connecticut with his girlfriend. Ava and Glenn haven't really seen each other since their argument.
Light up on stage right, time has passed and it's now May. Ava is sitting at her table painting in shorts and a tank top. She's relaxed. There are many paintings either hung or stacked against the wall. She gets up and sets another painting on the wall, stands back and looks at it. There is a knock on the door. She scampers over to open it, and Glenn walks in. He's wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Hey. They hug awkwardly and he sits down at the table with her. I've been thinking a lot. The conversation is very slow because time has passed. They both seem a bit different.
What?
Just like my life. The ever-encouraging, horrifically impending future.
Well, do I have a place in this encroaching and impending future?
Ava looks at him, opens her mouth to say something, stops, and sighs. There's a long pause. Glenn gets up from the table and rubs his hands over his face and he stands up.
Gotcha. So that's why I'm here.
Well, I guess it's part of the reason. We both deserve some closure, Glenn. It's May now. And I've only seen you, what, one other time, I think? Yeah, once since that time in February.
Glenn stretches and strains his interruption as he talks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I'm an asshole.
He breaks the stretch.
And you want to end things.
Ava scoffs and rolls her eyes.
I'm just saying that in February you were sleeping on Sasha's couch, and now you're moving to Connecticut with her in a month. I deserve some closure.
This is all you invited me over for?
He sits down in a cup.
Well, yeah. Why else would I text you come over to talk?
I don't know. I thought that you would want
To what, Glenn?
just to say goodbye.
Glenn fidgets and Ava stares at him. She takes his hand.
I am saying goodbye to you. You're not taking the train to the city once a month to do it and go back in a better mood. I'm not your personal sexy Lexapro.
You are definitely not my Lexapro. You drive me crazy.
But why come back and don't...
I love you.
She lets out a long sigh and closes her eyes.
A year ago, I would have believed you. I honestly probably would have believed you in February. Especially because you were so close to breaking up with her. But now you're moving to Connecticut. She's going to want to get married. You're going to want to buy a house and have kids and send them off to school. I believe you love me because you love my life. You love what I can give you, but you don't love me. You don't truly know my soul and what I really want.
Oh, come on. We both know that's bullshit, Ava. I do know you.
She raises her eyebrows at him and gestures for him to continue.
I know that you never want kids. I know that you don't want to get married. I also know that you want to be an artist so bad, but you're scared of failing, that you're going to let your amazing art and talent stack up in this shit apartment until it looks like the goddamn Metropolitan Museum of fucking art.
Glenn stands up and holds his arms out at his sides, gesturing to the amount of work stacked on the walls. Ava stands and brings her brushes to the sink to wash. Glenn is breathing heavily at the table. She turns back to him.
You're right. I don't want to get married. I am scared of failure. I'm terrified, actually. And the idea about having kids is complicated. So good job on getting me all figured out. If you really knew me, Glenn, you would know that today is Friday. And you would know that I work at Curly's every Friday night. And I would normally take Danny's shift, and that's why I can never normally see you on Fridays. If you really know me, you would come over more than once every 2 months.
Quick pauses between each word.
Most of all, you would break up with your girlfriend. If you knew me, you would know that I quit my job last month. That I have a spot in an art gallery that opened in March, and that I have 3 buyers. You would also know that one of them is asking for 6 original pieces and is going to pay me a very generous amount of money that equals to about 4 months of my previous salary from the job that I quit. Enough money that I can run a studio. And maybe that studio can be used for a gallery space to show my work and get even more buyers. So that's how well you know and love me, Glenn. You're all up to date now.
Long pause. Ava spoke gently, but her words hurt Glenn. He hesitates.
When did all this happen?
Well, I got a spot in a show in late March, April-ish. And in the first 2 weeks it was up, I had 2 buyers. I just got the call from the 3rd one today.
Softly.
I'm really proud of you, Ava.
Thank you. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I mean, you need to understand that we're doing what we were doing is wrong, and everyone involved is getting hurt.
Is that the reason you invited me here? To tell me this?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that, but also, one more thing. Just prepare yourself for the worst, okay?
She gets up and opens a drawer to pull out 3 pregnancy tests. She places them on the table one by one in front of Glenn. He is speechless.
It's yours. But I don't want you involved, I really don't. And I'm not just saying that. I really want to do this on my own. I already went to a Planned Parenthood, and I stood outside for a while, thinking about keeping it. There was this old woman pushing a shopping cart full of trash bags on the other side of the street. I looked at her, and
She smiles and kind of laughs at herself.
while speaking. I started crying, like a real cry. I ran across the street, got honked at by like 3 cars on the way over, and I gave her, what, like $50? I don't know what I was trying to prove. Like, it's not like she was actually going to suddenly transform into a beautiful sorceress and grant me a wish. She was actually kind of rude, and she took the money and said, does it look like I really need it? She grabbed it and she yelled, fuck you, but she still took it.
She pauses and thinks about this moment distractedly. She regains her focus.
But I guess I don't want to be an old lady pushing a shopping cart down the street unless it's my choice. I didn't go to college because my mom couldn't afford it. I worked at Curly's because it's where my Uncle Jim worked. I live in this apartment because it used to be yours. I want to choose to do something for once. I want to take action and have goals. I'm going to move out and make art and raise this baby and give it more choices. I've never been able to see a future for myself until now.
She places her hands on her belly.
I think I can do it, and the best part is I know that I want to. I have a future now.
The end. Next, we will have Anil Cabrera.
Good night, everyone. So my one act is titled Wednesday. I'll give you all a brief summary. Follows Minnie, a sarcastic, sharp-witted high school senior, during an overhanging, frustrating hospital stay. While she's grappling with her unclear diagnosis, the hospital's disconnected bureaucracy, and some language barriers, Minnie's faced with a too late realization from a young cancer survivor, Jade. Through tension and vulnerable moments, the play explores agency and personality and how to manage the unknown when stability slips away. Today, only the top and the bottom of the one act this year. So, Nurse Maya will be read by Maddie. She's Minnie's overly chirpy and clueless nurse. She's always in pink, she's really pregnant, and she's always rubbing her belly, and she drags her words out obnoxiously. Daniel's playing the neurologist, which is the doctor, slightly more competent than the rest, who's always trailed by med students. Jade will be played by Ella, a 10-year-old cancer survivor with a sharp wit and surprising wisdom. Her humor and warmth puzzles Minnie. Minnie, who will be played by Matilda, is a smart, independent teenager. Her anticipation for the future makes her hospital stay more disorienting. And Mom will be played by Olivia, who is Minnie's mother. Fiercely loving, involved, but must rely on Minnie to navigate communication parenting. And then this woman standing back here is Jennifer. She will be interpreting as Minnie signs and her mom is deaf. And I just want to make the disclaimer that if something like this was to be produced fully, the actor would be cast as a deaf character. Just because we want to avoid colorblind and ability blind casting to preserve it's important to preserve an authentic representation of an act like this. So in this case, for stage reading, we're gonna have Jennifer interpret as the readers who are cast as deaf characters or signing characters. So she's gonna do a sort of, not move, but like go side to side, and so hopefully that'll be nice. And we're just gonna read 2 excerpts. And then we'll read the stage. Excerpt 1, 3 p.m. on a Friday. Minnie and Mom sit in the hallway of the ER. Next to them lies Jade. She's holding her iPad and crafts.
So, what's your story? I've been here since midnight, waiting for my platelets. I don't know if you know what those are, do you?
I mean, kinda.
They stop me from bleeding out, and I kind of need that. My nose bleeds non-stop. I'm low, so we rush to get some, but it always takes forever.
Bitterly,
Always.
Yeah, always. I'm here often.
abruptly.
So have you ever met someone with leukemia?
I mean, I
Didn't think so. You're welcome.
could you not cut me off?
Oh, save it.
Gestures dismissively.
I've already got enough going on with treatment.
Treatment?
You know less than I expected. Treatment. Like chemo treatment. Duh. This isn't my first time though. I'm actually flying to Texas for a trial and oh, I just remembered we're going to the zoo as a treat before I go inpatient. We already bought the tickets this weekend.
Why would you plan without knowing when you're leaving?
Well, they're doing all this to keep me healthy.
B.
Plus, we have to keep ourselves entertained somehow.
Jade giggles, trying to fill the silence.
Well, I love your hair. What do you use? They always call me a boy here. You can see why.
Pointing at her bald head.
But my graduation is coming up in a couple months. I can't wait. My hair will be so long.
Minnie snaps.
Listen, you haven't let me answer a single one of your questions. You might as well be speaking to a wall.
She's stumbling over her words, speaking faster and louder.
You're bleeding out, and all you care about is some stupid hair products and a stupid graduation that might not even be happening.
You haven't answered the question.
Scuffs.
What question?
What's your story?
My story? This is just rotten luck. It's not like a forever thing or anything. But I was just doing my hair, and then my arm went numb.
Oh, that's all? You'll be fine.
Jade lies back into her bed, turning to Mom, mumbling.
Exactly. I'll be fine.
What's your issue, Minnie? Fix your face.
But this cancer girl,
Cancer? That's disrespectful, Minnie.
I get that. I know she has
Do you
cancer.
get it,
I
though?
heard her.
She
I
has
am
cancer.
grateful, but I'm
You
missing
need to be
my
more
fucking
grateful.
senior night game. I get to be upset.
In a lower tone.
Seriously, Minnie, think beyond yourself for once.
Scene 2. 9 p.m. in the ER. Minnie and her mom have been admitted to a cold, sterile room. Minnie and Mom walk into the room.
This room is exactly the same.
No, I think the lighting is bluer.
Mom rolls her eyes and takes a seat. Just then, Nurse Maya rolls into the room with a stand. Minnie turns at her arrival,
Hi, hon.
turning to Mom,
Hi, Mom.
clapping her hands together and lifting her shoulders in excitement.
I'm Nurse Maya.
She can't hear you. She's deaf.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She begins to speak louder and wrap her lips around her words with matching gestures.
Hi, Mom. I am Nurse Maya. Maya.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll just translate.
She giggles in relief.
Oh, thanks. So, can you tell her that I'm Nurse Maya and that I'll be on all night till the morning? I'm just gonna come and take Minnie's vitals every 2 hours.
Mom pinches Minnie to get her attention, but she's ignored.
Sure. What about the MRI and the blood?
Mom pinches Minnie one more time, but he looks back and is met with Mom's threatening glare.
Ask her.
Giving in.
But I'm sorry. She's just wondering when I'll get my MRI and if the results from the blood earlier were in. We've been waiting for both since.
So, yes. Unfortunately, I'm only a nurse. I don't know too much about the whens and the whys, but I can call up to neurology about the blood results. I mean, you can also just look at my chart.
What is that?
Signing to Minnie's face.
What's
In
she,
Minnie's face.
what's she saying, Minnie? Are the results back?
No results back. And something about a chart?
Charts?
Yeah, charts.
Returning to Nurse Maya.
So why do I have to check my chart?
Mom snaps her fingers to get Minnie's attention and sighs.
What chart? I might actually.
Mom, please, I'm trying to speak.
Mom is increasingly agitated at Minnie's dismissal. She signs larger and more aggressively.
Cut the attitude out. It's not like I can hear you, Minnie.
I I know you can't hear me, but you see my mouth.
Then pay attention to your mother,
I
Minnie.
am paying attention
Plus,
to you.
I think I have.
Mom searches briefly through her phone, lets out a sigh, and just as Minnie tries to return to the conversation with Nurse Maya, Mom shoves her phone between them. It's the MyChart application. Minnie takes the phone from Mom's hand, remains with her arms crossed, and shows Nurse Maya,
This?
squinting at Mom's phone.
Yes, that's it.
She presses some buttons on the phone as Minnie holds it up.
Right here, on the results page, you can check everything.
I mean, yes, but I just,
Minnie takes a moment before speaking.
I understand, but I don't think it's fair that I have to go searching for my results aimlessly, not knowing what will be out or what any of these terms mean when you actually know.
She rubs her pregnant belly as if it's a purse she's clutching as she walks past the thief.
Well, I didn't take the blood.
Mom has stood up from her pull-out bed and has stationed herself just behind Minnie.
Okay, but is there not some sort of system to communicate what has and hasn't been done? I mean, you have this.
She gestures with the app in hand.
Yeah, well, we do have that, but even if I had drawn your blood, I wouldn't be the one to input results. You get it, right, hon?
She cocks her head to the side and stares at Minnie in anticipation.
No, I'm sorry, I don't get it. I just don't see how my nurses can't check my chart and let me know my results.
Yeah, I understand how you feel. This is difficult.
No, I don't think you do understand. I just need an MRI. I've been here 6 hours. 6 hours.
Guilt overcomes Minnie, but she's firm.
I'm sorry for my tone, but you have to understand that this isn't fair.
Well, we do still need you to pee in here for some tests. Meanwhile, let me just try to contact neurology. I'm sure transportation will be down in a sec, hon.
Minnie is defeated. She bows her head,
Yeah, thanks.
picking up the bottle, gesturing to Minnie.
Why do you need to pee? They already took blood. Ask her.
Minnie catches Nurse Maya on her way out.
My mom wants to know what this is for.
Stands at the door, turning her head over her shoulder,
Just a pregnancy test. I'll be just out here.
closing the door, smiling.
So?
To Mom,
A pee test for pregnancy.
signing.
Pregnant? You're 17. You're just a kid. They could have asked me that.
To Mom, rhetorically.
Oh, of course. Why didn't she ask you about my body? Has anyone ever considered that I'm my own person?
That was excerpt 1. So now we're going to jump ahead to page 13. For Minnie, it's 10 p.m. and Minnie's exhausted, waiting, advocating, and being dismissed. She continues to wait for her results before getting picked up by transportation. The completion of the MRI, and finally some food recharges Minnie and Mom before they're reminded that the MRI results still haven't been returned. It's midnight. Minnie and Mom sit in the hospital room enjoying dinner when neurology enters. To Minnie and Mom.
Hey, so I heard you got your MRI.
Neurology is distracted by the curtain. Turns.
Oh, come in.
3 young adults with clipboards and regular outfits walk into the room, creating a barrier in front of the curtain, almost like a wall, stopping Minnie from getting out. Neurology turns back to Minnie and Mom.
These are soon-to-be doctors. Is it alright if they stay here?
Minnie turns to Mom,
Ask why. Why students?
turning back to neurology.
She's wondering why there are students here.
Neurologist realizes Mom is deaf,
Oh, I know some ASL.
proceeds to point to themselves, sign slowly, NAUROLOGY, followed by an awkward smile and nod from Mom.
Well, this is an educational facility, but of course, they won't be touching you or anything like that. They'll just be taking notes and observing. Is that alright?
Minnie turns to Mom for approval. Mom shrugs, hesitantly,
Sure.
Great.
unlocking the iPad.
So, I can show the pictures.
He walks between Mom and Minnie on the bed, crouches, and displays the MRI scans on the iPad. Signs,
What's this bright line?
What's this bright spot here?
pointing to the left side of her brain on the iPad.
Well, let me just ask you one thing.
He picks up a finger and touches Minnie's right arm,
Can you feel that?
What? Yes, of course.
and with the same finger touches Minnie's left arm.
What about this side?
Minnie's eyes start to fill with tears, her mouth into a frown as she's been holding him, and in a whimper.
No.
No, you don't feel it?
Mom is reading the note. She doesn't know what, but she can tell Minnie needs comfort. She gets up to hold Minnie's hand as she watches for neurologist's speech to read her lips.
I don't feel it.
Mom's warmth brings Minnie to tears. She leans into her mother's shoulder and continues crying.
Minnie, I know it's hard, but good thing is we are here. We've noticed this abnormality. There is something numbing, and one side of your brain looks normal per the MRI. We'll have to do more testing to really figure out what this is.
She nods, waiting for a response.
What could be wrong?
It's really hard to say based on just that. We've told the other nurses that you don't have any problems with your vision, your balance, and coordination are great, and you don't seem to be disoriented. So we have little to go on. Mom, Minnie, this could mean anything from carpal tunnel to
B.
cancer.
Minnie's crying becomes louder. Mom soothes her.
No, it's not that.
Minnie, how about this?
Looking into his bag while speaking.
There is a girl on the floor. She spends a lot of time here in and out. She's a cancer survivor and she loves crafts. She's been writing letters of encouragement to the kids on the floor for months, when she is here, of course.
Passing Minnie a letter. Still laying on Mom's chest. Minnie turns her head for Mom to the neurologist, grabs the letter, but doesn't look at it.
I get it. You might be too old for this kind of stuff. I'll leave you alone after this, but you have to know that the next step will be a tumor events MRI. Depending on how that looks, a vascular MRI, and if we cannot figure it out from there, a spinal puncture. We can talk more. I'll let you all rest. It's been a long evening, but consider that letter.
Jade and Minnie share this letter, and it reads,
Hi, sick kid. Today is Wednesday, and I'm not in the hospital, but I've been bleeding out pretty bad, so we'll see. Not to make it darker than it already is in there. Although I think any distraction is a good distraction, the doctor has a bunch of letters, and I always talk about myself as a distraction, for you. Not because I'm cocky or anything. If you got this, you must have gotten a diagnosis, or at least by now you finally know you are sick. They're right, it's good to be here. Well, to be here if you are sick. It's nice to at least know, and now there will be less it's okays and it'll be fines. Knowing is better because you don't have to pretend, and once you know, they've got a whole plan. Sometimes it feels like the plan is not working, or is taking too long, or doesn't even exist. But the plan is there, and we just have to fight.
My dad says we've got to be fighters, which is actually pretty easy. He says we've got to eat good food, watch funny shows, make cool crafts, or whatever you like. That way, if we die, we won't die twice. Once now and once then. If we do all of this now, then we'll only die once later. And you won't even really be dead because you did all of this. But I'm not certain about that. Last tip. Just suck up the annoying things. Like my dad. He's always so worried and running around and doing all this overwhelming stuff. But it's nice because once this ends, at least he was there. It wasn't how I wanted it, but it was there. Plus, I've known kids who've died twice and alone. Not us. We'll die once and together. So just do the thing.
Jade Ellis. The end. Thank you. And next up is Caroline Wolf.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'd like to take a minute to thank Jennifer for coming all the way to Millbrook to sign for us today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mom.
Hello everyone. My play is called Someplace in Brooklyn. My dramatic question is, why do we feel most alone in the company of others? My characters are in a big city. The brother and the sister own a cafe, which is not what it seems. Character breakdown. Megan is 35 years old, long brown hair, always wears clunky red glasses. She doesn't like to be interrupted from 3 to 6 p.m. every day while she reads books from her large collection. And she will be played by Miss Elizabeth. Steve, he's 36 years old. He's a typical businessman with short black hair, lots of gel. His ideal outfit of the day is a blue button down and a half zip. Everyone who sees him on the street thinks that he is the man, and he will be played by Mr. Kelly. The brother is 28. He is short and has brown hair. His outfit is always pulled together, but he has holes in the bottom of his shoes. He is a worrywart. He is a terrible liar, and his face gives him away, and he will be played by Maddie. And lastly, the sister, she's 24, also has brown hair, wears tight black pants, loose white shirt, and black and white sneakers. She's very controlling, doesn't give two fucks about the world, and has to micromanage her brother. And she is played by Lisa. Okay. And then, stage directions is Miss Leffer.
Thank you, Caroline. Okay. Someplace in Brooklyn by Caroline Well. See?
I'm sorry about your shoes. Can I buy you another coffee?
Wondering why she's prolonging their interaction. Steve sounding low-key excited.
Yeah, that'd be nice, thanks. I've heard of a new place a few blocks from here. Supposedly the owners came from Paris. Maybe they will have croissants.
With a smile, admitting to herself that he's kind of cute.
Okay, lead the way.
A little pep in his step.
So tell me about your book.
Walking away with Megan. Lights dim. They arrive at the cafe's door. They walk into the cafe, and it's too quiet. Megan whispering to Steve.
Don't you think it's a little empty?
Well, they just recently opened.
Megan makes her way to the window seat and sits down. She tries pushing the table to make room for her legs, but nothing moves. Before Steve sits down, he sees her struggling with the table and her chair.
Are you okay?
It seems like nothing wants to move.
Tries, but can't.
Weird.
Very weird.
The brother, arriving from the back. He comes over to their table to take their order.
Welcome.
Beat.
What can I get you?
This is a cute cafe. It's the perfect size. I'd like a latte, no film, please.
Then nodding her head towards Steve.
I'd like a dark roast, black.
Beat.
Would you happen to have any croissants?
Sorry,
Looking towards the back of the cafe.
we're out of croissants.
Beat.
I'll be back with your coffee.
Steve and Megan look around the small cafe and start to sense something is off. The brother returns with their drinks and leaves with a smirk on his face. They take a sip of their drinks and Megan's body starts to freeze up. The brother has put a poisonous mixture in both of their coffees, but only one seems to be working. Steve starts looking at Megan's body and looks at his, wondering, why is it only happening to her?
Dude, what the Your legs are becoming glossy.
Beat.
I can't turn into some sort of Barbie doll.
Steve, do something.
This drug isn't sold in pharmacies or tucked behind supermarket counters. It's handcrafted, impossibly precise, and when it's perfected, it will change the lives of the victims.
What am I supposed to do?
Freaking out when he notices the brother walking towards them. Megan's body is now completely frozen except for her eyes. She looks at Steve with wide eyes. Steve pretends to stay still when the brother is feeling Megan's arms, and then he looks at Steve.
Yo, sis, one of the potions didn't fully work.
Trying to get his sister's attention.
What do you mean?
Beat.
Did you put the right amount?
Well, it didn't work on this guy.
Don't let him escape.
Indicating the rope that's in the back room.
Get to work!
Okay, I'm going.
Steve, struggling to move, the brother beats him over the head with a frying pan.
Okay, I tied his arms.
Beat.
Where do I put...
Yelling to the sister.
Hush, will you?
Making sure no one is around.
Quickly put them in the back.
Beat.
Before anyone walks in.
Okay, I'm going.
Good.
Rolls eyes.
Ugh.
Now, get ready for more customers.
Lights turn a faint red, and the brother comes forward and addresses the audience.
Ever since her dollhouse burned down with our parents, she hasn't been the same. I've been keeping her under control the best I can, letting her play with life-size dolls is the only thing that keeps her calm.
And scene. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, readers. That very creepy, horrifying excerpt. The body freeze, but only the eyes move. Okay, and next up, we'd like to invite to the stage That Side of the West by Daniel. Daniel and readers, please. Thank you.
No, there's two.
Okay, that's terrifying. There's these and these are two houses. Okay, thank you. Thank you again.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel, and the title of my play is That Side of the West. I'll start with the character breakdown. Jack is a 36-year-old gunslinger in the West, and Racco, it will be played by Mr. Turner. Racco is a 43-year-old bounty hunter who believes there's only good or bad, no in-betweens, and it's going to be played by Mr. Tukey. Kyle is a 35-year-old alcoholic bounty hunter who is known for his bad reputation of watching on his debt. It will be played by Mr. Kelly. Ash is a friend of Jack, who is also a gunslinger. It will be played by Mr. Howe. And Alberta, the owner of the saloon, she is a woman in her early 50s. She will be played by Miss Clisby. And the setting is a Western saloon. It is a setting with long bar runs along the wall. Ranch workers, farmers, local folks lean on the bar, drinking their beers sip by sip. Gamblers would gather up at the table and play Texas Hold'em. My dramatic question is, when should people let it go? And the summary of the story is, it is a Western piece about 4 gunslingers, who 2 of them are outlaws and 2 of them are bounty hunters. And after a deadly saloon standoff leaves Jack's friend and Ash dead, Jack chooses to merge over revenge in a final duel. He lays down his gun, breaking the cycle of violence. And then the stage direction will be read by Josh Ritter.
The saloon, afternoon. Ash sat at the table with a bottle of beer, while Alberta was at the counter organizing the liquors and alcohol in the closet. Jack enters.
Well, I'll be.
Seeing Jack.
What happened to your face, partner?
Sarcastically.
Real funny, Ash. You're a real funny guy, you know that?
Come sit down.
Pointing to the seat in front of him and pushing the beer toward him.
Well, I reckon I could use a sip.
Walks toward the table and sits down.
Feeling better now?
Better this morning.
B.
You hear anything out there?
Not much. Been quiet recently. But I did saw something real funny yesterday. There's a young man on the side of the road. He's cleaning them hooves of his horses. Told him he should leave them jobs to the stable work. Well, he sure didn't listen and kept on cleaning. And guess what?
Taking a sip of the beer.
That horse kicked him right in the chest. Died like a sack of potatoes. And the horse ran off, wild as a wind.
Chuckles.
Well, served him about right.
Yeah, too many amateurs these days, eh?
Ain't that the truth? Too many of them trying to play cowboy. Someday they'll wise up.
Well, I sure as well hope so. After all, it ain't the best of days anymore.
Yeah, those days were the real epic.
While Jack and Ash were talking, Alberta overheard their conversation. Alberta joins the conversation.
You boys talk about the old days?
Might be. You are?
Alberta, I run this saloon.
Howdy, ma'am. Name's Jack.
Ash.
Don't mean to butt in, but anytime folks mention them golden years, get me thinking I sure do wish it's how things used to be.
Yep, we was just jawing about it. Real special.
Did you fellas know Bill Carson?
Ain't he the fella made off with a Confederate cash box?
That's the one. About 15 years back, tall blonde son of a gun walks in, shoots 3 rounds, drops a wanted man cold and dead. Then sits right here and asks for a whiskey. Calm as Sunday.
Cup shattered. Alberta shouts toward off stage.
Hey, watch it back there.
Back to Jack and Ash.
Anyway, he paid me in gold coins. Confederate mint, too. Never forgot that man, the way he talked, the way he handled that pistol. Now that was a gunslinger.
B.
World's changed since. Ain't many left like him. Spirit's gone, I reckon.
Well, it was a mighty fine story, man.
Thanks y'all for listening. Don't get the jaw much from folks these days. I'll leave y'all be.
Alberta exits.
Didn't see that coming.
She's got more spark than half this damn town.
Couldn't agree more. Now ain't the finest hour, that's for sure. But I'm hanging on to hope. You ought to have faith in something.
Ain't nothing out there worth holding hope for. far as I can see.
Slightly irritated.
You always this cheerful?
I used to believe I'd go down in legend. Gunslinger tales, you know. Now, all I want is peace.
There is a way out of this mess.
Way out of this? Hell, if it weren't for me, you'd be buzzard pickings by now. We got bounty hunters tailing us.
We done fought off worse and lived to tell the tale. Ain't no reason we can't do it again. Right, partner?
First off, the world don't turn that way no more. You and me ain't got to stand our ground against the whole damn pack of bounty hunters. Second, I ain't the one stirring up bad blood with some gunslinger. Tired of getting your sorry ass out of some damn trouble you keep stepping in. So there it is, partner.
Ain't no cause for worry, Ash. Rackle's a dead man.
He ain't the only one, I'm telling you.
Well, I reckon you're right.
Taking a sip of beer.
I'm planning on leaving.
What? Why? All of a sudden like that?
I'm leaving tomorrow. Been thinking about it for quite a while.
You got any plans?
Might buy a patch of land, raise horses, cattle,
Eat.
never had a place to call home. Not really. Just want to sit on a porch, watch the sun drop over the hills.
This life's all we know, Ash.
And maybe learn something new. I reckon it's time to move on.
I ain't letting it go. Not yet.
Maybe one day. You will.
Blackout, the saloon, next morning. Ash is about to leave town, and Jack and Ash are having their final drink together in the saloon. Alberta is working at the counter.
Gonna miss you, Ash.
Emotional.
Yeah, I'll miss your ugly mug too.
You sure about this? Mexico's a long trip.
Long enough to keep the Pinkertons off my trail. Cross that border, they can't touch me.
You even speak a lick of Spanish?
Nah, but I know a fella down there. Met him some few years back near the border. Said I could stay with him for a while till I find my bearings.
Well, best of luck to you. Raise a glass, shall we?
Sure.
Smiles, clinks glasses.
To
a good life.
While Jack and Ash are celebrating in the background, Kyle enters,
Ain't nothing sweeter than a shot of whiskey in the morning.
gesturing the bartender, not recognizing that it is Alberta.
2 shots.
Slamming 2 nickels on the table. Turns around, seeing Kyle, and becomes irritated.
Kyle, how many times I gotta tell you, don't you set foot in here till you pay what you owe?
Oh, come on now, Alberta. One more big score. I'll pay you back. How about that? Just need a sip of that fine whiskey.
Pushing the 2 nickels on the table forward.
Not one damn drop till I see my money.
Pushing the 2 nickels on the floor.
Now don't be like that, sugar. You know I ain't got it right now.
Then you ain't got no business here. Get out.
Stares her down, voice hard.
I ain't leaving till I get a drink.
Kyle climbs onto the counter and reaches for the whiskey on the back shelf.
I said, get out.
Pushes Kyle back.
Get out of my damn way!
Grabs onto the whiskey bottle. Grabs on the other side of the bottle and pulls it away from Kyle.
You ain't taking this.
Let go, woman!
I ain't letting it go.
The bottle flies out of their hand and shatters on the floor. Growls.
Damn you! Look what you done! I ought to put a hole in your ugly face.
Pulling out his revolver, pointing it to Kyle.
Hold it there, mister. Don't you dare pull out that gun. You got a 6-shooter pointing at your head. Jack, get Alberta out of here.
Jack walks behind the counter and supports Alberta. Alberta exits. Slowly turning around.
This ain't your business, you hear, mister?
Now it is. You ought to show some respect to that lady.
All right. Why don't we put down the guns and go our separate ways?
You ain't the one with the gun in your hand. Jack, go take his gun.
As Jack walks towards Kyle, but before he reaches Kyle, Rackle enters, pointing his revolver at Ash.
Looks like I missed all the fun here.
Astonished.
What in the hell? How the hell are you standing?
Not quite, Jack. Not until I send you to hell.
Jack, get the hell out of here! I'll handle this.
I ain't leaving without you.
Jack pulls out the revolver and points to Rackle.
Put down that goddamn gun, Rackle, or I swear I'll blow your head off.
Grins.
You pull that trigger, I'll kill your little friend here.
Kyle quickly pulls his revolver out and aims it at Jack.
Easy there, mister. Looks like we're all standing on thin ice.
Shit.
That's right, Jack. We're on the same boat now.
Damn it, Jack, you could have walked away.
I ain't walking out on you, Ash.
The 4 of them slowly begin to move away from each other, each of them occupying a corner of the saloon. Rackle posits at the upstage right, Kyle at the downstage right, Jack at the downstage left, and Ash at the upstage left. The standoff continues with silence. 2 loud rings come from the town shower. Blackout.
have an excerpt from Maddie, and then we will finish with a reading of Marvelous's one act. Thank you for sticking it out, everybody. We appreciate you being here.
Hi everybody, I'm Maddie. Thanks so much for coming out to support our playwriting class. And before we get to my play, I would like to make a disclaimer. The excerpts from my play contain depictions of violence, mental health struggles, and other sensitive topics. There will be a gunshot at the very end, so for this reason, viewer discretion is advised. The name of my play is Russian Roulette and centers around Oscar, a 20-year-old college student living in a small town. Both his parents died in a car crash 3 months ago, and the play begins with Oscar in the midst of his first psychotic break as a schizophrenic. Salem, our main protagonist, is a resourceful 14-year-old girl who is caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, setting the play in motion. Salem is cunning and will do whatever it takes to survive. Other characters include Winter, Alfred, and Court, who all go to school together and are friends with Oscar, who was only 2 years ahead of them in school. I don't want to spoil anything, so let's just get right into it.
Setting: a lime green trailer with peeling paint and rusting in places. It has been split in half so the audience can see the inside. The screen door has duct tape to cover the holes. Inside is a very small alcove with a table built into the wall and benches on either side. Ratty stripped pillows rest on either bench, and the table is cluttered with miscellaneous items. Next to the dining room is a little kitchenette area with dirty dishes in the sink and an air fryer on the counter. As you move further into the space towards the back of the trailer, which you can barely fit in a twin bed and a dog crate side by side. There is a bathroom to the right. It is a little bigger than a coffin and serves as a shower, restroom, and vanity. Above the cab of the trailer, cabinets filled with all the necessities one person needs: clothes, toiletries, everything. The whole thing is worn and untidy. Dog toys are scattered on the floor, and a singular small window allows light to invade the space. Decorations are non-existent, except for one family photo on a small nightstand beside the bed. Scene 1. Lights up on the trailer in a clearing with a backdrop of sparse forest and bush. Running path/trail runs across downstage of the trailer. It is early morning, just after dawn. Oscar is standing stage right of his trailer, a shovel leaning against the side of it. He is washing his hands from a hose which is connected to a water main nearby/offstage, and his clothes are covered in a mixture of dirt and blood. He is muttering to himself, and his dog Watson, who stands watched downstage of the trailer. A foot sticks out from behind the trailer, also stage right. As he continues to rinse his mostly clean hands, moving to remove his bloodied shirt.
What a mess we've made, Watson. Such a mess. Please he'll be pleased with my speedy action. Very pleased.
The crunching of gravel is heard off stage, where Salem enters from the stage left, wearing sneakers, running shorts, and a tank top. Her headphones in as she jogs across the stage. Slowing when she sees Watson, wanting to say hello. Watson comes up to her barking with excitement, which startles Oscar, who turns to face the girl who is petting his dog.
Why, hello there. Aren't you just the cutest thing? What's your name, boy, and why are you out here all alone?
Watson, come.
Watson runs over to him, looking from his owner to Salem excitedly.
Sorry, he's overly friendly. We didn't mean to disturb you.
Standing to look at Oscar, growing more concerned by the second.
Oh, don't worry about it. I love dogs.
Short pause as Salem takes in Oscar's appearance.
Are you okay? You seem a bit frazzled. But then again, it's really early, so everyone's frazzled.
Spotting the shovel.
You digging for some lost treasure or something? Because I don't think you're gonna find any around here.
Examines his clothes.
Is that blood?
Salem sees the legs sticking out from behind the trailer and starts to suddenly look for an exit route, growing more anxious and frankly scared by the move.
Is what blood?
Looks down, noticing his appearance as if for the first time.
This. My morning was a bit messier than I intended, I guess. Nothing a little bit of soap can't fix.
Walks up stage right to reach for something behind the trailer, presumably on a ledge or hook on the wall above the foot.
Now, what did you say your name was again?
Salem sees this as her opportunity, but doesn't want to give herself away, so she starts inching away stage left.
We haven't gotten to names yet.
Looking at her wrist at a watch she doesn't have.
Well, would you look at the time? I better get going or else my mother will start getting worried anyway.
She is almost off stage and is about to turn and run when Oscar finally retrieves what he was looking for, a revolver. He aims it at Salem. She stops dead in her tracks.
Watson, I think your new friend wants to play cards. No, Watson, not actually, but she's seen too much, so we're keeping her.
Another pause.
See? There you go. Now you understand.
Talking to Salem while gesturing for her to walk towards the trailer door. He moves so he always has a clear shot.
Do you play cards? If you don't, I can teach you. Hearts is my personal favorite, but you need at least 3 people to play, and Watson doesn't have opposable thumbs.
They move up into the trailer, all while Oscar is yapping away.
I'm Oscar, by the way. Oscar. My last name's not important. What's your name?
Salem, but I really need to.
Salem, like the witch trials. Spooky.
To his dog, who is clearly very well trained.
Go get me the rope from under the bed.
Watson goes upstage to the bed, disappearing from view for a moment, and he returns with sturdy rope.
Thank you, Watson.
Oscar places the gun in his waistband and uses the rope to securely tie Salem's hands.
You know, these are the moments when I realized that the Boy Scouts was totally worth it. Is that tight enough?
Struggling to get free, and when she realizes that she is not going anywhere, panics a bit as the situation begins to sink.
Okay, look, I really don't want to die, and I promise I'm really good at keeping secrets. If you just let me go, we can both forget this ever happened. I mean, I have a math test today that I just can't miss. Plus, I'm sure you have better things to do than to be babysitting.
Perfect execution, Watson.
Come on,
I earned the
please.
Knox Merit Badge 3 weeks early, you know? You seem like a good kid, Salem. But my boss would be livid if I let you go. Even if you don't snitch on me, it's bad for business to release witnesses, and I will get in trouble. It's already bad enough that our foolish friend in the yard refused to pay the money he owed. But letting the only witness go free, a boss isn't very forgiving.
He leans in to whisper in her ear.
And Watson tells him everything.
Salem stumbles back onto the benches in the kitchen area, clearly terrified but beginning to understand her situation. Inside thought that accidentally became an outside thought.
Oh my god, this guy's batshit crazy.
What was that?
Quickly.
Nothing. I was just saying how interesting the decor is. Really unique. Love it.
Oh, thanks. I found this trailer here 6 weeks ago and decided I wanted it. Turns out the guy who's already living here was more than happy to get rid of it after a little convincing.
Turning to the kitchen, opening cabinets to survey his food inventory.
Are you hungry? I'm hungry. How about some mac and cheese?
Salem nods before responding, her voice strained and tense.
Sure, sounds good to me.
Rambling as he turns on the stove. As the line progresses, the lights dim lower and lower. Oscar's voice grows more and more distant with eventual silence and blackout.
Great. Then we can play cards. You know how to play, right? I personally love gin rummy, but we can play war too. You can also play trash or slapjack. Canasta is better with 4, but we can certainly make do with 2. How about spite and mouse? The sack settles it, spite and mouse it is. Please, Salem, relax. You're gonna be here for a while.
Blackout.
Lights up. So, after the scene, we have a time jump to 4 days of captivity for Salem, and we kind of see an interaction between her and Oscar, learning more about the deterioration of his mental stability. We then move to a local diner where Oscar meets his friends for lunch, but he devolves further, leaving the diner halfway through. Worried, his friends come to his house to check on him, and we come to the next excerpt, where Oscar has completely lost touch with reality, forcing Salem and his friends to play a sick game.
Completely calm, calculated.
See, Corey, you've never been very good at lying. Maybe let Winter or Alfred answer next time. Yeah?
He gets an idea.
Oh, I know. We should play a game. I love games, but you guys already know that.
Oscar empties the ammo in his revolver, leaving only one, then spins it shut.
I'm going to ask a question, and if you answer right, then
He holds the gun to his own temple.
my life is on the line. If you answer wrong, then you're on the chopping block. After each round, we add another bullet until someone's luck runs out. Then we start over, and so on. First question.
He turns to Salem,
Youngest goes first.
points the gun at Salem.
How do all of you know each other?
Voice shaking, barely above a whisper.
We don't know each other.
Wrong answer.
He pulls the trigger and there's a click but no bullet.
Lucky you.
He adds another bullet and spins the gun shut, points it at Winter.
You next. I mean, I'm nothing if not a gentleman, am I right?
Silence as he thinks of a question.
Do you remember when we first met? It was your first day in Westbrook, and you couldn't figure out exactly how to get your locker open. Anyways, back to our question. If I gave you this gun, would you shoot me, your friends? How far would you go to get out of here alive?
Horrified.
Dude, what the? Why would you?
Answer the question!
Okay. Oh, God, jeez, give me a sec.
Oscar waves his gun again.
Hurry up.
I don't know. Maybe I could shoot you? I don't know, dude. Of course I don't want to, but you're scaring me. That's a good enough answer, right? Right?
You know what? I'll give it to you. I mean, it sounds honest enough.
Oscar holds the gun up to his own temple and pulls the trigger. Click.
Would you look at that? Guess I'm just a lucky guy.
Oscar adds another bullet.
Next up is Corey, my guy. Your parents are in the army, right? That must be hard considering they could, die at any moment. Do you resent them at all for leaving you like that? I mean, gosh, they care about millions of other Americans than their own kid. Ouch.
Oscar, come on. What kind of question is that? Of course I don't resent them for working hard to serve our country. Is it hard not seeing them? Yes. That's how it is.
Oh, Corey, you just can't tell the truth, can you? I mean, I know it's messed up to hate your parents, but if you're gonna lie to yourself, at least try to be convincing. Anyways, time to test your luck, my friend.
Oscar pulls the trigger. Click. Corey gives a huge sigh of relief. Oscar adds another bullet, then turns to Alfred.
Last, but certainly not least, Alfred.
He pauses, hearing something.
Can you hear them too?
He gestures to the empty space behind him.
He's standing right there.
Oscar, there's no one there. It's just us five.
Laughs in a bitter way.
So I'm going to send.
Pause.
It's what you're saying, right? What you're all thinking. Some friends you are lying to me like that. I know what's real and what's not. Okay, I'm not stupid.
He aims at Alfred. Pull the trigger. Click.
Wow, this is getting intense, isn't it?
He adds another bullet to make 5 out of 6 chambers full.
The odds are not good for this next one.
He turns to Salem. She is shaking.
Do you hate me?
You want the truth?
Oscar nods and sirens are heard in the distance. They get louder over time, closer.
I don't hate you. I will never forgive you. You had a choice, and you chose to hurt people anyway.
Empty.
You know what I like about you, Salem? You tell it how it is, not what you think I need to hear.
The sirens are loud now, and Oscar raises a revolver to his temple.
Wish me luck.
The end. And now we have Marvelous, and this is our final play.
Hi everyone, it's Marvelous. Tonight I will present my one act. Ritmo de Vida. This play follows a small group of characters, read by students you all know and love. Vida, read by Lisette, is the stoic and temperamental bartender and pseudo-owner of the bar. Sepulcro, also read by Lisette, is the owner of the bar who is in debt to the bees. Ife, who's read by Andrea, is the quick-witted and alluring entertainer of the bar. Queen Bee, read by Fifi, is the leader of the formidable crime ring known as the Bees. One of her henchmen will be read by Sophie. And of course, we have Anna for the stage directions. Throughout this play, we will explore the dramatic question, how far should one go to protect something before the costs outweigh the benefits? Hope you enjoy.
Prologue. When the curtains open, there should be no lights except the ones that make all the actors look like shadows. On the stage is a silhouette of Ife, dancing to the beat of a jazz or ragtime song, played by the musicians behind her. Customers should be seated at one of the tables, drinking, speaking with other customers, or watching the women dance on stage. Silhouette of the Bees enter from stage right. They walk across the bar, stopping in front of the shadow of Vida. Fake speak. The audience mustn't hear their words. So make sure Vida's body language implies her discomfort. She will hesitantly lead them into Sepulcro's office. Music crescendos. Before it can hit its highest point, a gunshot will ring through the bar, followed by a high-pitched ringing noise. After at least 5 beats of customers staring in the direction of the gunshot, everyone will run out of the bar. It is crucial that they only look like they are screaming, but the audience should hear nothing but that ringing. Noise should continue as the bar empties, lights go out at the end of the program. Scene 1. Inside the bar, nighttime after closing. Ringing noise continues as the spotlight shines on Vida, who sits behind the counter cleaning a glass cup with a distant look in her eyes. The phone rings, snapping her out of her trance. She turns to where the ring comes from, looking into Sepulcro's office. She pinches the bridge of her nose, shaking her head with a frustrated sigh. She puts down her towel and turns around to face Sepulcro's office.
He needs to get those calls.
She walks into his office and can be heard whispering to someone. A figure walks through the office and answers the phone. Their back is to the audience, making sure you can't see their face. They pick up the phone and speak with a deep voice.
Hello? What about the transfer? Oh, yes. Yes, I do want to continue with this. Yeah, I get it. I'm young. Lots of people have told me that already. Just, can you get back to me when you're not trying to convince me to change my mind?
Sepulcro pinches the bridge of his nose as he puts the phone down. After a few moments, it rings again. Sepulcro puts it on.
Well, got anything useful now?
He goes silent, listens to the call for a few beats, then slams the phone down. Sepulcro immediately stands up and walks to the darkest area of his office. The dim lighting turns off. Wait a few beats, and then Vida comes out the other end. She is panicked, running to the entrance door to lock it. Ife enters from behind the curtains, approaching Vida with concern.
What's going on here?
Vida places a finger on Ife's lips and pulls her behind the counter.
Shh. Sepulcro got a call and...
She raises an eyebrow.
So Sepulcro got a call?
She looks slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's from the Bees. They found out about him, now they want to pay him a visit.
The stage goes dark with a spotlight on Vida and Ife hiding behind the counter. It is tense and silent if one wants ambient noise. Her voice is now just as whispered as Vida's.
I told you this was a bad idea. Running around pretending to...
The loud knocking stops all talking and reverberates through the room. The knocking will increase in volume until they hear a loud bang, and everything will go silent. After many beats, Ife and Vida will get dragged out from behind the counter, and the lights will go back on to reveal the bees. The 2 girls are thrown onto the ground, surrounded by the bees, all brandishing guns and ready to shoot. She steps forward.
Where is he?
Who?
Don't act stupid. Your good-for-nothing brother, where is he?
She takes slight offense to this.
He ain't here. He ain't here. You can check the whole bar. You won't find him.
Really? Are you trying to tell me the man we called only a few minutes ago on the bar's phone isn't here anymore?
Nervous.
Well, yeah.
She suddenly starts speaking in a louder tone, her voice almost theatrical.
Oh, that explained why he ran off so suddenly.
Vida stares at Ife, who glances at her as if trying to send a message and keeps acting.
We don't know any of this call, you see.
She gets the hint and starts acting as well, though not as well as Ife has.
Yeah. He left. He just left. Through the back door. Knowing him, he's probably long gone by now.
You probably scared him shitless. No wonder he ran off.
Yeah.
Her voice lowers. She stares at the ground with a frown. Queen Bee looks at the 2 girls. She snaps her fingers, and the bees immediately rush off to check the ball. After a few beats of silence, they return.
The ladies are right, boss.
That yellow-bellied bastard.
Queen Bee kicks a chair over, then turns to the woman with the sharp glare, specifically at Vita. Queen Bee slowly paces around the two, eyeing them up and down.
I ought to burn this bar down at this point.
No!
She immediately covers her mouth, but still looks distressed.
You can't. You
wouldn't act so rash now. It would be more of a loss than a gain for you.
What?
Think about it. Burning the bar would be the same as burning all that money away, and that wouldn't be very profitable, now would it? And the bar makes enough money to help pay off the debts. Perhaps you could
have us work for you.
Ow! She gets elbowed by Ife, who stares at her like she's insane. But Queen Bee is already considering it.
Tempting.
They put down their guns, signaling for their men to do the same.
I'll consider it.
They motion for their men to leave. Queen Bee stays back for a bit, looks at the girls, then finally leaves. The girls take a moment to take in what just happened. Then Ife shoots up to her feet and turns to Vita.
Seriously? Work for the fucking bees?
She paces the room with worry.
Well, I'm sorry. Kind of hard to think rationally when you have 5 guns pointed at you.
She crossed her arms.
Plus, that wasn't what you were implying with your little
using air quotes.
Burning the bar down wouldn't be profitable skit.
I was suggesting that they take a cut of our profits.
Oh.
Lights go out, end of scene. Scene 2, inside the bar, early morning before opening. When the lights go back on, Sepulcro is in the middle of a call. His office is still shrouded in shadows.
Yeah, don't worry. She's working to get a license. Yeah, right. I'll let you know when she gets it. Fine. Whatever.
Sepulcro hears the door swing open. He lets out an annoyed groan.
Something came up. I gotta go.
Sepulcro walks into the shadow of his office. After a few beats, Vita leaves the office, putting on her bartending uniform. The light illuminates the bar, revealing Ife had just opened the door and Queen Bee waltzes in. Vita screeches to a halt.
You again?
Calm your tits, I ain't here to threaten you.
They walk past Ife and sit at one of the stools of the bar.
So what do you want?
They smirk, taking out a knife, twirling it around between their fingers.
Just a drink.
She can tell there's more to this. She leans in with a scowl.
Bullshit. What do you really want?
She leans in as well, still playing with the knife.
Feisty, aren't we?
Stabs the knife into the table.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, unless you want to end up like your brother.
Her eyes go wide. She tenses up as if ready to lunge over the counter and fight Queen Bee.
You.
Ife goes behind the counter and grabs Vita's shoulders to pull her back, shaking her head.
Darling, I love you, but can you not provoke the leader of the bees?
Vita begrudgingly relaxes, crossing her arms in annoyance. Ife then turns to Queen Bee with a placating smile.
Sorry about that, hon. What Mita meant to say, what brings you here today? Sepulcro still hasn't returned, if that's what you're asking.
She scoffs and leans back, going back to twirling her hair.
How irritating. But I was actually here about your little offer from a week ago.
Ah, yes, we can give you a cut of our profits until the debt is paid off. You shouldn't take that now.
She raises an eyebrow.
I could have sworn that that one
She points at Vita with the tip of her knife.
had offered that you two worked for me.
Her smile falters.
Well, yes, she did.
She shoots a glare at Vita, then tries to fix the situation.
But what use would you guys get out of a singer and a bartender? A distraction and a bunch of drunk workers? We just assumed you would only want to cut up our profits, that's all.
She looks slightly amused.
You're smart for a pretty little singer.
She puts her knife down, takes a cigarette out of her pocket, and lights it.
But you don't see what I see. This bar is in the center of a nowhere town.
Slightly ahead. Either doesn't notice their offense or doesn't care.
Yes. Perfect distance from city pigs. I think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down.
It clicks.
Wait. This is just a bar, not some criminal headquarters to use as your little hive.
Frowns.
I think I'm being a little too kind. So let me speak in a language you'll understand.
She leans forward, picking up the knife and holding it under Rita's neck.
Let my men use your bar, and not only will we not kill you or the pretty gal, but once the debt is paid, we won't go for your cowardly brother either. So,
Still upset about this, but sighs and nods.
Well, we don't have a choice now, do we?
Smiles and puts the knife away.
smart.
Holds their hand out as if to shake on it.
Happy to work with y'all.
She's still uneasy, but shakes her hand, solidifying the deal.
Sure.
Now that we're business partners, I'd like one of your best drinks. On the house.
Through gritted teeth.
All right.
Vita begrudgingly goes to get the drink prepared. She turns to Ife.
And some music too, Toots.
Snaps her fingers to get her to hurry up. Ife huffs but does as told and goes from behind the counter onto the stage, disappearing behind the curtains. A few moments of silence. Vita comes out with a drink as jazz music begins playing, and Ife comes back onto the stage to begin singing. Lights go out and you see. Lights out. Scene 3, inside the bar at nighttime after the bar closed. So curtains open, nighttime again. Ife leaves a room with a large bag. Meanwhile, Sepulcro is yelling into the phone in his office. Ife rolls her eyes, leaves the bar, then walks back in once Vita storms out of Sepulcro's office. When Ife comes back in, Vita was already preparing one of Ife's favorite drinks for her, while pouring the drinks into the mixer.
Well, did you?
She purposely trails off. They both knew what she was getting at, with a sigh running her temples.
Yeah, it's taken a trip down the river to be found many miles from here, if ever.
She nods, puts the top of the mixer, and starts shaking it.
I'll be on hiding body duty tomorrow.
Oh, that means I have to be on killing people duty then. I hope they have us launder money instead.
Or even better, just have us hide one of their men.
The two women were silent. Vita continues shaking the mixer, then pours it out in a glass and passes it to Ife. She stares into the drink for a second, as if contemplating something.
Ain't that messed up?
What?
The fact that we're talking about crimes like they're chores.
She takes a sip of her drink and lets out a depressed laugh.
Did you know my mom called me today? Wanted to check up on me, made sure I was doing well, you know? That was the second time I kept something so huge from her.
She traces her finger on the rim of the glass.
But what was I supposed to do? Tell her the truth? Yeah, Mama, I'm currently cutting up a guy into tiny little pieces so I can feed him to the fishes.
Another weak laugh.
She fed me to the lions, if you heard that.
Ife didn't look up until she felt a hand on her shoulder. She made eye contact with Vita and kept it for a long time. Vita moved her hand from Ife's shoulder to her hand, where she intertwined her fingers with Ife and brushed her thumb against the back of Ife's neck. Ife looked even sadder.
And yet, I think she'd still be even prouder if I were to tell her the truth about this.
Hey, don't say that. You're her daughter. You've done so much. She's so proud of you, I know.
For now.
Hey, at least there was a point where she was proud of you. Something nice to look back on.
She looked into the distance.
It's always nice to have something to look back on. At least then you have something to feel good about.
But to have had something that means you can't lose it, and that hurts more.
Ife, I think of all people to talk about loss to, I know quite a bit about it, don't you think?
Yeah.
She places a gentle kiss on the back of her hand.
Hey, don't worry. Once this is over, it's only uphill from here.
Lights out and you see. Lights out.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting bait.
Scene 4, inside the bar, nighttime just after closing. The bar is dimly lit, the last few patrons having just left right before closing time. Ife walks from the stage left, inclined to have just shut the door for closing time. She walks into Sepulcro's office, watching as he speaks with someone.
What did you say? Why would the debt be placed on her hands? She didn't, ugh.
He slams the phone onto the table.
Stupid.
Vita,
Office lights finally go on, revealing that Sepulcro was Vita all along.
we need to talk. I don't think I can do this anymore.
She sighs and turns to Ife.
Can't do what?
This crime. I can't handle the drugs, the money laundering, the identity theft, the murder. Vita, how much longer do we have to do this? How much longer do we have to answer to these bees before they finally drain us of everything?
The debt, Ife. We do this until we pay off the debt.
Fuck the debt!
Angered, she steps closer to Vita.
We didn't take this deal. We didn't rack up this debt. We didn't piss off them bees. So why do I have to suffer because some dead man made a stupid decision?
That was what got her. She slammed the cup down on the table.
Don't you dare talk about him like that.
She steps closer to Ife.
He did nothing wrong. Nothing. It ain't his fault he didn't know any better.
It ain't our fault either. We shouldn't have to pick up for his slack.
Haven't you forgotten why we agreed to do this in the first place? Did you forget what this was about?
Oh yes, to save this godforsaken bar.
Oh yeah.
She throws her arms up in the air in frustration.
The same godforsaken bar that helped get you on your feet when you thought your mama was gonna kick you out on the cold hard streets.
Silence. Ife looks hurt. Vita, while still angry, immediately looks guilty for saying it. She lets out a sigh, stepping closer to Ife and speaking in a softer tone.
Ife, you loved this bar. It protected you, gave you a place to stay, gave you a stable income, and let you live out your dreams of being a star.
She holds Ife's hand.
You wanted to protect it as much as I did. So why are you acting like it's been nothing but a burden now?
Ife stares at the ground, then looks back up at Vita, almost as if she realized something.
Cause this ain't the bar I loved. This ain't the bar that protected us. This ain't Sepulcro's bar.
She places a hand on Vita's cheek, turning her face to the phone.
You always belong to them beats.
She breaks from Ife's touch, shaking her head.
No, I'm not giving up this bar. I just won't.
Vee, please.
You think I want to keep doing this?
She turns to Ife, looking close to breaking down.
You think I like all this illegal shit we be doing just for the possibility of keeping the bar? Of course I don't.
She turns away from her, shaking her head.
But he sacrificed so much to make his dream a reality. It would be a slap in the face to let it all go to waste, to lose the only living memory of him I have left. I can't just give up now, not when we're so close to saving this place, to saving him.
Would he have wanted to see you like this?
Vida goes silent, just staring at Ife for a long moment. Her face morphs into a guilty expression.
I don't.
She turns away.
I need to go.
She leaves the bar. Lights stay on the curtains and there's no scene. Lights up. Scene 5. At the sepulchre of the grave, dawn. The stage is dark. All that there is a tombstone with a familiar face on it. Sepulchro muerto. Vida enters from stage left, approaching the grave and kneeling in front of it. She will face the grave, not looking at the audience. During this conversation, Vida will pause every now and then, as if Sepulchro was actually answering.
Hey, long time no see, huh?
She puts a bottle of wine near the grave.
I got you your favorite. Must have been a while since you've had one.
She lets out a sad laugh and puts the bottle on the ground next to him. It goes quiet in silence.
I miss you, but you probably already know that. Hell, you probably know everything that happened over the past few months. Yeah, I know. I'm an idiot for getting into this situation.
She sits down.
But I guess you were also an idiot for starting this, accepting a deal from the damn beats, expecting to be able to pay them back. How stupid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. I know you were low on money. I know you wanted this bar so badly. I know. But still, that was a dangerous move, don't you think?
Another beat. She sighs and rests her head on the stone.
We had so much life left to live. Enough time for you to get the money to open the bar. We just had to rush it.
Tears begin to form.
And here I am, making the same stupid mistake you made in making a deal with peace. I spent so much time so focused on your life that I forgot to live mine. I'm out here in your shoes pretending to be you to get this far. I never even asked myself I wanted this damn thing.
She gets up, looking down at him.
I gotta live. I gotta live for me, not for you.
Light brightens as the morning comes, a ray of sunshine shining on Vida, who smiles.
Of course you wouldn't have wanted this. What would you say?
Imitating Sepulchro's voice.
It'd be ironic for a woman named Vida not to live a life.
The wind blows gently and the light brightens more. Vida smiles in response.
Yeah, of course. I know.
She rests her hand on the tombstone. Her smile turning slightly sad but confident.
I know what I have to do now.
Vida exits stage right, lights stay on, curtains close, and It's up. Scene 6, outside the burning bar at dawn. A gentle crackling can be heard within the darkness, eventually revealing itself to be flames that have enveloped the entire bar. Ife and Vida stand there watching the flames dance.
So that's it, huh?
Yep, that's it. No more bar.
So we came here, found the building burnt down, unable to find out what happened, but assume it has to do something with the faulty heating.
Makes enough sense.
She turns to reveal she was holding a bottle of alcohol.
Alcohol is quite flammable.
She throws the bottle into the fire, then sits down on the ground. He faces with her, thinking.
Are we sure this will work?
No, but it's worth a shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
The stage gets brighter, signifying that the sun is coming out. The two women look up at the sun. Suddenly, you can see a smile on their faces.
I honestly expected it to feel a bit sadder.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I put so much into this bar, and yet seeing it burn down right now, I honestly feel
relieved.
Yeah, relieved.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
The sun is now out, shining a ray of light specifically on the toe.
You want to know the funniest thing?
What?
Spookro probably would have felt the same in that way.
So curtains closed.
Wow. One more round of applause for the playwrights. Yes, playwrights. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for the readers. Let's clap for those readers. Thank you all the readers. I also really want to give it up for Zach and Sabrina in the booth. Thank you to Zach and Sabrina in the booth. Bravo. Thank you.